Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Game Junk Podcast, episode 175, recording on Tuesday, December 5th, 2023. My name is Frank.
My name is Sean.
And my name is Andrew.
And this is an emergency quick episode. After the GTA 6 trailer got leaked, we will be reacting to the trailer on video. So if you go to youtube.com/gamejunk, you can watch us react. We'll be pausing and breaking down the trailer, which is causing quite the stir. I usually don't get excited for game trailers all that much, but I think this one is worth talking about. It's getting a lot of attention. So why don't we just get right into it? Why don't we fire up this video, Sean?
All right, you asked for it.
I did. Sean, anything else we need to say before we watch this and break it down?
I don't think so. I mean, there were a lot of leaks. I guess it got posted a bit early because of another leak, but
yeah, most of the stuff I saw was people mad that it got leaked. And I mean, it was a day difference. Was it supposed to premiere during the Game Awards at some point? Do we know that?
It was supposed to premiere today, I believe, and so they had to release it last night.
I wouldn't say it's the end of the world or anything like that. It seems like it's not like a leak in the sense of where like gameplay footage got leaked. Like it's a planned release trailer. So, and that's what was leaked. So let's start it up and get ready for a banger from Tom Petty.
And now we know why Frank is so excited.
Also, we should say, I have not watched it. Totally fresh. No idea what to expect.
So pause. Okay, so we're seeing one of what I think will be revealed as two main characters. And we're seeing a cutscene. The lighting already is incredible. I don't know. I'm assuming this is running on a high-end PC, but some of the best lighting I've ever seen throughout this trailer. Do you guys agree?
Yeah, the lighting's a big difference. I think, there's still hints of like Rockstar style animation and stuff, like a little bit of stiffness and things like that in there, but like the lighting definitely is another level.
This first 5 seconds looks real good.
Right. And I think
going to have a tough time with this. We pause every
it's
2
only
seconds.
a minute. Do you want to watch it all the way through and then go back?
Sure. Maybe that would be.
Maybe. All right,
will we get striked for that? I don't know. Probably not, eh?
I don't know. Sean, start it over. Go back. Cue Tom yet again. Let's go.
Here we go.
And we'll just make noises, oohs and ahs.
Ooh. Oh yeah. Look at that barbed wire.
That is impressive. The hair is ridiculously good. Now, Sean, you hate when cities don't feel populated, and you got to be loving what you're seeing here. The flamingo. Oh, look at this beach. I mean, every single shot packs a punch in this trailer.
Mm-hmm. Of course, how many of these are cutscenes? Probably most of them, but
now clearly some social media integration going on in this game. I don't know how you've always had a phone in the recent GTA games, so it seems like it's going to play a bigger role or something like, a version of Instagram or some social media within the game.
Mm-hmm.
And continuing with the trend probably established by GTA 5 and what all AAA games are doing. Looks like two protagonists for now. A Bonnie and Clyde type situation is going to be the focus of the story. Okay, so we just observed first thoughts, and then we'll go down and break it down shot by shot. Huck, this is your first time seeing it. What did you think?
Well, I was getting distracted by someone talking over all the good stuff, but it looked pretty impressive.
Podcast. I don't want to just like have Tom Petty playing.
I must say, my experience was a little not as good as it could have been. The video coming through Zoom, not as high quality, not a little choppy, to be honest. So not a perfect representation, I don't think. But I was very impressed with a lot of the stuff I saw, but it is hard to tell is this in game? Is a cutscene? They could put a lot more horsepower behind cutscenes and just play them as movies. So overall, look pretty impressive first impression just of like some of the tech stuff. I like the Instagram, like obviously they're leaning into like the crazy Florida vibe. Like Vice City is supposed to be Miami, right?
Yeah. Miami
So-
equivalent. Yeah.
Yeah. So overall, looks pretty cool, I would say.
Yeah. I think that's
I like the stylistic choices they're taking.
Yeah, the big takeaway is returning to Vice City, which was, I think, one of the most popular. Is it the most popular GTA game? It's got to be up there.
I mean, how do you measure? Like they're all huge.
I don't know. I'm just judging by the IGN article of why Vice City was so important, or some fluff piece that got posted today.
Well, I just think it's a very nostalgic game at this point. Like it came out and it had 80s nostalgia in it, but now it's been long enough since the game that people want to return to Vice City, I think.
Okay, so in Vice City, I think I've only played it for a couple hours. I'm not big on GTA in general. Vice City, did it take place in the 80s? It did, right?
Yes.
Pretty sure, yeah.
So this is the same city, but obviously a modern reframing of Vice City, which is a version of Miami. So let's kind of go back through the trailer and go through the shots. So the main character, I forget the names of the characters. I read them somewhere, but
Lucia is the girl, which, we should say first female protagonist for GTA, I believe.
Yeah. And
which seems long overdue, but
the introduction of this character, like, so we go back one shot, Sean, like this interview scene with a parole officer or something like that, like the lighting in here and the hair specifically, like tech wise, I'm getting techgasms everywhere when I watch this trailer. So I agree with what Huck said. This could be running on like the top of the line, best of the best PCs to create this video. So I don't know how representative of a final version it will be, but so far it's like blowing me away. It might be the best looking trailer. I can't remember the last time I saw a trailer that looked this good and had so much stuff in it. So let's continue forward a bit. The beach, like the water dynamics look fantastic. When you see a shot of someone running down a beach, like, a lot of games talk about, open air, like real locations, immersive cities, and like also, diversity is a word that's thrown around a lot in gaming these days. And everything about this world feels genuinely diverse. Like it feels like a real place. It like every time I see a new shot in this game, visual pacing of like the Everglades versus the beach versus night, like it is just has every element of reality in an exaggerated form that we're used to from GTA. So Sean, you're kind of hovering over the flamingos as well, like wildlife, which has not been, I love the wildlife in Red Dead, but GTA doesn't really feature that stuff. And we're seeing flamingos, alligators, other like wildlife from Florida, and it looks amazing.
Yeah, and it looks like you're getting, a good mix of like urban areas with lots of people around versus maybe some areas that are more open and exploration, and you're kind of isolated on your own. Lots of potential there.
Okay, let's keep going. So yeah, the beach, like
So
the color palette. Yeah.
I just want to say I'm watching it on, like, I pulled it up big on mine so I can actually see. And if you look closely at that guy jogging on the beach, his like chest muscles are jiggling as he's running, and it's pretty impressive.
I just noticed the dog. There's a Chihuahua running in front as well.
Yeah, there's like a lot of detail in here. I mean, you could that scene alone, that like 1 second of beach, you could probably look like, they got the helicopters, they got probably I bet if you look at the trees, they're probably blowing in the wind. You got the ocean. I bet if you look closely at the sand where it meets the water, I guarantee they have some sort of, special, water leaving the sand texture going on to make it look just like the regular beach would look. there's a lot of stuff going on in this scene, and just the sheer amount of people that if this is accurate to the game, it's a lot.
Yeah, and GTA is always generally featured close to photorealistic graphics, but when you think about their poster art, there's always been like an exaggeration, or the characters are more like caricatures a lot of the times, especially the not usually the leads, but the NPCs that are like, I guess not the NPC
supporting cast.
Yeah, supporting cast. That's exactly what I'm looking for. They tend to have like interesting looks or exaggerated and be characters, and you really see that going forward. Anything in the social media reels feels like a super exaggerated version of reality, and as someone mentioned, like leaning into like the idea of it being in Florida. And I don't know if I love that idea, like how going to like Florida jokes seems like kind of a thing that's been done for a decade now. And I don't find it all that interesting anymore. Like 10 years ago, it was kind of a new thing. But I will say, anytime they show footage, I'm like, the actual variety of those characters and the things they're doing in the videos is amazing.
I see, but I think it's actually a really good decision because, you know, like you said, GTA games, they have this sense of humor to them, and the characters are usually a bit goofy. And this feels like a way to ground it in reality. Like, these characters don't feel that exaggerated to me. Like, it feels like, you know, like real stuff we've seen. So, you know, it feels like a way to kind of have some quirkiness and some humor without having to push it too far, while still keeping it in the real world. So,
well, and when you frame it in social media, you know, it actually, the things where it feels like it's close to reality is comparing it to stuff you would see on social media, where the average person probably isn't like that. So, you know, if you just see the people on the beach didn't feel like this much of a cartoon, but then the game is actually framing it within the context of social media when it is exaggerated, which I think does blend into this being exaggerated but realistic at the same time. So it's pretty impressive. Like, the lighting feels like something you would see on an actual social media feed, or like footage, like the mud's physics and the look of how the mud is attaching to people's bodies in this section looks incredible. This character, this is the one that stood out as being kind of the thing that didn't fit to me. I don't know if you guys agree. It's like the woman with the two hammers. This one looks off.
I don't know. I thought it looked pretty good. Like, you mean in terms of the visual of it, or in terms of like
composition, lighting? This is my least favorite part of the trailer by far.
But it does have the, like, clearly they've put some kind of filter on it to make it look like it's, you know, something coming from social media. So,
and in terms of like a 1.5-minute trailer, like, it is short and it is jam packed. So the trailer itself is designed for rewatches, like pointing out small details, which is awesome, because so many trailers I watch and it's 3 minutes, half of it is useless. Kind of getting back to the teaser trailer or short video for Hellblade we saw at an Xbox release, and it's like, that was nothing. There was nothing to talk about. This is a 1.5 minutes, and if you really wanted to, you could probably talk about everything that's in this for an hour. We're not going to, but there's enough content in this trailer to, if you're a fan of GTA, I mean, this trailer must blow your mind. I don't even like it, and it's blowing my mind.
Yeah, I'm watching it at like a half speed so that I can try to pick out more stuff in this trailer. I think there's such an emphasis on the Instagram, or whatever the social media is they're calling it, that I wonder if there's going to be some sort of mechanic around it where you have to like gain social media followers by taking pictures of crazy stuff you see around the city. And I wonder if that's going to be a focus, because a lot of the scenes are basically like crazy stuff going on. And I wonder if that's going to be a mechanic in the game I was trying to like analyze the Instagram things that they all look to be from different people. So maybe it's just like you looking at it, or maybe it's just for this trailer, but it does seem to be quite a substantial mechanic, or at least emphasis in this trailer.
Yeah, and like think of all the text and comments. If you look at these videos, there's people leaving messages. So if that's a dynamic system where you capture things for social media, how is it generating all those responses? Even that itself would be a huge undertaking. So stay here, Sean. Like techgasm wise, Sean has a truck paused. Look at the metallic paint. Like the metallic paint on that truck looks incredible. And then go back to the last one you were on, and it was a gas station. And look at the puddles. There are puddles. It looked like it rained right there. Yeah. I mean, I can't believe how good those puddles look. And even the lighting on the signage. This might be one of the best looking games I've ever seen. It might be the best looking game in this trailer ever created.
Well, and it's interesting because like I don't know, when you say Grand Theft Auto, do you think, granted it's been like how many years since the last Grand Theft Auto game, but like, do you usually think of them as cutting edge visually?
I think of them as being close to cutting edge, but never like the cutting edge.
Right.
I think there was an association going back to GTA 4 because people would do photorealistic mods for GTA. And like there was people dedicated to that game. I think there still is, where their whole point is to try to make it look as realistic as possible. So I don't know if that influenced this at all, but I mean, they've had 10 years of iterating on systems that were in GTA 5 and GTA Online. So it feels like they focused more on graphics and tech for this version than they have in previous ones. And it's really impressive.
Yeah, and that's again back to the idea of like how much of this is gameplay. Like it's hard to tell right now. But I think the other thing we got to address is the coming 2025, which I don't know if you guys expected that. I think a lot of people thought it was going to drop maybe next year, but still a ways off.
I was surprised 2025. I didn't even think they'd announce a date. I would question if they're going to make it for 2025, but that feels right to me. That could be 2 years away almost, technically, depending on when they release in 2025, but that feels about right.
It feels realistic, at least. Like, I think if they said 2024, you'd be thinking, yeah, it's probably going to get delayed though, but hopefully this means it will come in 2025.
But I'm trying to think of a trailer that had this big of an impact where I haven't heard a negative thing from anyone. I don't think a trailer has ever had higher expectations. It's one of the biggest series ever. And this trailer completely delivered.
It's going back to the date. I wonder, like, it's interesting from a marketing perspective that they would announce it this early. Like you're talking about a whole year that you now need to try to, I mean, this game's so big, they don't really need any marketing, but the fact that you would put it out this early and risk potentially getting pushed out even further, like if this falls to like 2026, this is a long way from the release date to show this trailer.
I got the I think most games show 2 years out now. And to me, I think people had more questions. They've been expecting it for so long and they're like, is this like, what's the state of this game? I think there was probably more concern about the game. And this trailer is like, removes all concern for me. I'm like, this looks incredible. And it feels like a next gen evolution. Like, where do you take the series? I'm seeing lots of new ideas. And to me, it's like, if I was worried about where GTA was going, this completely calms me. And I'm excited. I want it as soon as possible, but I'm definitely like, I would think it's probably more about stockholders or stock shares and people wondering how this game is going to do and when it's coming. So I just feel like it answers a lot of questions for people who are waiting for this game.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Rockstar's still private, so I don't know what the shareholders would next necessarily.
2K doesn't 2K publish?
Oh yeah, right. Sorry, of course.
Take-Two.
Yeah, Take-Two. Okay, yeah. But the I find it interesting too that with 2 years out, essentially, assuming this will launch in holiday 2025, that you could still put together a trailer that looks this good 2 years out.
Yeah,
pretty impressive.
So I mean, what I take away from that is, I bet the core, like, foundation, all the connective elements of the game are done. And it's just, they might even be at a point where they're polishing because it's so big and so open that they're just iterating and polishing on things for the next year. And most of the stuff is done, is what I take away from this trailer.
Yeah. I mean, it's been in the works for a long time, obviously. Like GTA 5 was when? 2013 looks like. So,
jeez,
10 years. I didn't, granted, Red Dead 2 is in between there too, but yeah, I one of the problems is if you put something like this out early, maybe there's some stuff in the trailer that people really like, and then when the game comes out, suddenly it's not there or it's changed, and then people are like, "What? You didn't hold true to what was in the trailer." But I mean, it's kind of quick flashes of things. I don't know if that's really a risk because of how they did it. And I think Frank's right that it's a bit of a response to, the leaks that came out earlier this year. And there was just so much misinformation and people like throwing things out and criticisms and just, this is like, okay, we've given you a blueprint basically of what we're working on, settle down. So it looks pretty good.
Yeah, I can't believe the variety in, like, character models, NPCs. Like, it just feels so alive. Has anyone said anything negative about this trailer?
I haven't heard anything. I mean, I think the general, if anything, maybe the negative take on it would be just that we've seen Grand Theft Auto do these same things before. Like, is it time for Grand Theft Auto to mature a little bit? And will this game do that? I think there's hints of it for sure. And like we were talking about with the humor, like, I think they found a way to keep their humor in there without it feeling as cartoony anymore. But that would be it. I think, if you like Grand Theft Auto, I don't see how you could really complain about this.
Yeah, even if you don't, like, that's about as good as a trailer can be. So
the one thing we didn't touch on, like, there's a lot of polish in here. I think Frank, you talked about the hair, but in like the stripper scene, when the girl's twerking, like, you could see the jiggle basically of her ass. Like, that's a lot of. Yeah, it's also, you can see it right there on the car when she's twerking on the car. Like, that is a lot of effort to make that happen, and so it's pretty impressive to have that runtime like in the game. So there's a lot of detail here. I'm sure you could scrub this trailer for like an hour and keep finding new things that they have in here.
Yeah, and it's like, it makes you think, as with all GTA games, like, how many of these things have systems associated with them? How many of these are like mini games that, you can just do on the side just for fun? Like, there's so much potential.
Yeah, and GTA 5 had the 3-character narrative. I kind of like this idea of the 2 and a Bonnie and Clyde scenario. I think it's a little more streamlined and is a better like framework for telling a story. So I'm like way more excited about this than I have been previous GTA games. I haven't even mentioned the lighting at night is so good. There's a few overhead shots of the city with like, I think a car, like a race rally at night and some other things. And it feels so authentic. It's so populated. Sean, this has got to be your dream game. I know I've said this already. Like, you always complain about this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing Spider-Man 2 and I love looking in the little apartment building windows, but then I started noticing, hey, if you look at the corner of a building, what you see from one window doesn't match what you see from the other window. And I was like, not cool,
That's
man.
not good. I mean, the only downside I could see to this trailer is if they are showing this with high-end PCs and tech that is not going to be on consoles, and it under delivers on the actual console version, then people will be pissed. So, this is the shot I was talking about with the overhead city with the lighting. Like, look at the headlights on the cars. It looks so good. It's actually got me wanting to go back and play GTA 5 on like a modern console or PC and see the difference, because
yeah, I mean, I've been wanting to do that for a while, but maybe we got at least a year. So
yeah,
why not?
I feel like maybe it's time I just immerse myself in the world of Rockstar. GTA 5 and Red Dead 2. Make it happen.
Yep.
All right. What a trailer. One of the best trailers I've ever seen. And maybe it's all because of Love is a Long Road by Tom Petty. Co-written by Mike Campbell, produced by Mike Campbell and Jeff Lynne and Tom Petty. Okay, I think that's it. Just talking about that, nothing else. Quickie episode. We'll be back on the weekend to talk about the Game Awards and all the big announcements. I might not talk if Alan Wake 2 wins Game of the Year. I am not discussing the Game Awards ever again for the rest of my life.
It's going to happen. I'm starting to feel it. So
really,
be ready. Yeah.
You know what? I take that back. I have to talk about it at least once. Next year, I won't cover the Game Awards, but we'll have to talk about it this year. All right. Thanks for listening or watching. YouTube.com/Game Junk for the video if you want to follow along, and Discord links are there as well. See you next time. Bye-bye.